Okay, in this problem, we're given a data set and we're asked to draw a scatter diagram, compute the correlation coefficient, and comment on the type of relationship between the two variables x and y. So the data that I'm given is over here to the right. So I'm going to open up that in StatCrunch. And let's see. Okay, so we have our data in StatCrunch, and what we're trying to do is draw a scatter diagram, and that's pretty easy with the graph. All we have to do is go over here and hit graph, go down to scatter plot, choose our two variables, x and y, and then we'll go down to the very bottom of this, and I'm going to have to scoot it up a little bit, hit compute. So now we have a scatter diagram to compare to the ones that are given. Okay, so as we look at this one in comparison to those four, we notice that it's the same as this particular one. Now I do want you to note that on the x-axis it starts with a 2. Whereas up here in the drawing, it starts with a 0 and it goes to 10. So kind of watch those type of things. And on the y-axis, the maximum value that's listed is a 2.6, and up here it's a 4. So we know that this point is 2.6. Okay, so anyway, we've got our graph, our scatter plot. Next, we want to compute the correlation coefficient. So to do that, we're going to go to Stat, and over to summary stats. Whoops, no, we're going to go to regression, sorry, because we're doing linear regression. Stat, regression, simple linear, and we're choosing our two variables, x and y, and then we go down to compute. And when we do that, then this is what we end up with. Enlarge this a little bit. We have all sorts of information that's given. Notice here that in this particular one up here, the independent and dependent variables are listed. This is our regression equation. Notice that going with the x is the slope. So the slope of our line is 0.164. The y-intercept is 1.154. We're also told here the correlation coefficient. And in our problem, they asked us to compute that, so that's located here, 0.989. And then the question is, what type of relationship appears to be, to exist between these two? Well, if we look at that carefully in our scatter plot, let's see if I can change that. So up here in our scatter plot, we'll notice that it appears that as x increases, y is increasing. So this looks like a positive relationship. And most of the points are pretty close to the line itself that would go through those points. And the correlation coefficient is 0.989. And as the closer you get to 1, the more perfect the relationship's going to be. And as we know, if it was perfectly positively correlated, then the correlation coefficient would be 1. I hope this helps.